Welcome back, traveler. Tonight, you rest once more in the cold and ancient land of Skyrim. This is a place of quiet mountains, drifting snow, and stories that linger long after the fire has burned low. In this volume, we will not speak of great wars, nor of heroes whose names echo through history. Instead, we will listen to the softer stories, the ones that were never written down, the forgotten ways of the ancient Nords as they lived, as they rested, and as they remembered the world around them. Let your breathing slow. Let the cold wind outside fade into calm. Before the great tombs, long before the great stone crypts were raised, before carved doors sealed the honored dead, the Nords practiced simpler rites of remembrance. In the earliest days, the dead were not hidden away beneath mountains. They were kept close. Ash was scattered near hearth fires. Stone markers were placed beside rivers. Simple carvings were etched into wood and bone. It was believed that memory, not stone, was what kept a spirit warm in the afterlife. To forget someone was considered a deeper loss than death itself. Hearth spirits and the living home. Ancient Nordic homes were never thought of as empty spaces. Every hearth had a presence. Every doorway carried a quiet awareness. Small offerings were left by the fire each night. A crust of bread, a sip of mead. Not for gods, but for the unseen watchers of the home. These spirits were believed to guard sleep, to soften dreams, and to guide wandering thoughts safely back by morning. Children were taught never to whistle indoors at night. Not out of fear, but out of respect. The home was alive, and it listened. Seasonal rites, now forgotten. The passing of seasons shaped every rhythm of Nordic life. Winter was not simply endured, it was welcomed slowly, carefully. On the first snowfall, lamps were dimmed instead of lit brightly. It was believed the snow preferred quiet. Songs were sung lower. Footsteps softened. Voices lowered near the forests. Spring brought no celebration at first, only silence. A pause to allow the land to remember itself. Stones that were never touched. Across Skyrim, stones stand alone. No markings, no inscriptions, no offerings. These were not sacred places, but listening places. The ancient Nords believed some stones were meant to hear the world, not to be spoken to, not to be shaped. Travelers would rest beside them in silence, sometimes for hours. It was said that worries left beside these stones did not return when the traveler moved on. Luck, fate, and quiet signs. The Nords did not always seek prophecy. Often they preferred small signs. A bird landing nearby. The way smoke drifted upward. The sound of snow settling on a roof. Luck was not something to chase. It was something to notice. If a journey felt heavy, it was delayed. If the wind felt warm, fires were left burning longer. The land spoke softly to those willing to move slowly. Nightfall and rest. When night came, the ancient Nords did not fear the dark. They prepared for it. Doors were checked once. Lamps were dimmed, not extinguished. Stories were told without endings. so dreams could finish them. Sleep was considered a shared journey, one taken with ancestors, with the land, and with memory itself. Drift toward stillness. As the fire burned low, voices softened further, thoughts slowed. Names faded, only warmth remained. And in that quiet warmth, the ancient Nords believed the world watched over them, just as they watched over it. Rest now, the night is gentle. The quiet majority. History remembers heroes. But Skyrim was built by those whose names were never carved in stone. Farmers, hunters, travelers, and those who lived entire lives without ever lifting a blade in battle. These people did not seek glory, they sought warmth, food, and another peaceful morning. Most days passed without song or celebration. And that was considered a blessing. A morning in the pale. In the pale, mornings came slowly. Snow softened every sound. Even footsteps felt distant. Fires were stirred before sunrise. Hands warmed before tools were lifted. No words were spoken at first. It was believed that silence helped the day form properly. Breakfast was simple. Bread, salt, warm water when mead was scarce. Nothing wasted. Nothing rushed. Roads and traveling merchants. The roads of Skyrim were long and quiet. Travelers moved slowly, not out of fear, but respect for distance. Merchants carried more than goods. They carried stories, not heroic tales, but small moments, a kind innkeeper, a safe bridge, a place where the fire never went out. These were the stories people remembered. Inns as places of memory. Inns were not built only for rest. They were places where time slowed. Benches faced the fire. Beds were placed far from doors. Stories were told softly, often without names, so no one felt compelled to remember too much. Sleep came easier in shared spaces. No one slept alone. 46 to 50. Night watches and lantern light. When darkness settled, lanterns were lit low and warm, never bright enough to chase the night away, only enough to guide gentle steps. Night watches were calm duties. No alarms, no urgency, just quiet listening. The wind, the trees, the distant sound of snow shifting. Winter sleep. Winter changed how people slept. Homes grew smaller, rooms closer. Furs layered thickly. Breathing slowed. Sleep came in long stretches. Dreams were believed to wander farther. In winter, traveling places the body could not. No one rushed to wake. Evenings without story. Not every night required words. Some evenings passed without conversation. Just firelight, breathing, the soft shift of resting bodies. These nights were considered important. They allowed the mind to empty. so the next day could arrive gently. Settling into stillness. As the hour grew late, movement slowed even further. Lanterns dimmed. Fires softened. Nothing demanded attention. Life continued quietly. Between the legends, unnoticed and content. The Dwemer before the silence, entering Dwemer space. Dwemer ruins do not feel abandoned, they feel paused, as though their builders simply stepped away, expecting to return once the world grew quiet again. The air inside is still, heavy but calm. Sound does not echo sharply. It settles. Homes, not halls. Despite their vast chambers, the Dwemer built for comfort as much as precision. Living spaces were carefully proportioned, neither too large nor too small. Walls curved gently, guiding sound rather than trapping it. Light was never harsh. It was diffused, softened through metal and stone. Even their machines hummed quietly. Dwemer timekeeping. The Dwemer did not measure time by the sun. They measured it by motion, rotations, cycles, patterns, repeating without urgency. Clocks did not announce the hour. They observed it. Time was something to witness, not something to chase. Sleep and rest among the Dwemer. Though often thought tireless, the Dwemer valued rest deeply. sleeping chambers were insulated from sound. Even distant machinery was muffled. Beds were firm, aligned carefully with the structure itself. They believed proper rest aligned the mind, the body, and the mechanism of thought. Dreaming was considered maintenance. Thought made physical. For the Dwemer, ideas were not abstract. They were meant to be built. A thought unfinished was uncomfortable. An unanswered question. Restless. So they shaped ideas into metal, into motion, into balance. This is why their ruins still feel occupied. Thought lingers even when voices fade. Why the ruins feel awake. Some say the Dwemer left machines behind, but it feels more accurate to say they left intentions. The halls respond to movement. Lights awaken gently. Nothing rushes. Nothing startles. The structures remember how they were meant to be used. Dwemer silence. The Dwemer did not fear silence. They welcomed it. Silence allowed observation, understanding, stillness. In silence, the mind repaired itself. Perhaps that is why their spaces remain calm. Even now, leaving gently. As you leave Dwemer halls, your footsteps grow quieter. Not from fear, but respect. The stone does not mind your passing. It has waited before. the sacred without names. Not every sacred place was given a name. Some were known only by feeling. A clearing where the wind always softened. A bend in the road where travelers rested longer than planned. These places were never marked on maps. They were remembered by those who passed through quietly. Shrines off the roads. Far from trade routes, small shrines still rest beneath snow and moss. No banners, no stone guardians, only stacked rocks. Weathered wood, offerings returned slowly to the earth. These shrines were not meant to be visited often, only when the journey felt heavy. Stones that listen at night. Some stones were approached only after sunset. Not because they were dangerous, but because they were attentive. At night, sound traveled differently. Thoughts softened. Travelers would sit beside these stones, and speak nothing at all. It was believed the stones listened best when words were absent. Broken altars and reclaimed ground. Across Skyrim, altars once used have fallen apart. Stone cracked, wood splintered, but the ground beneath them remains calm. Grass grows gently there. Snow settles evenly. The ancient Nords believed sacredness did not vanish. It simply rested and returned to the land. Pilgrimages without memory. Some journeys were taken without ever knowing their purpose. a person would wake and feel the need to walk. No destination spoken aloud, only movement, only breath. When the walk ended, the feeling passed, and the land was thanked quietly. Sacred silence. Silence itself was once considered sacred. Not empty silence, but full silence. The kind that holds sound without needing it. These moments were not rushed. They were allowed to last as long as they wished. Places that do not ask. Some places ask nothing of you. No prayer, no offering, only presence. The ancient Nords valued these places deeply. They were reminders that not everything must be earned. Leaving without goodbye. When leaving a sacred place, no farewell was spoken. To name the leaving was to disturb the stillness. So travelers simply stood, breathed, and walked on. The place remained. Spirits, dreams, and quiet beliefs. the world that watches back. The ancient Nords believed the world was not silent. It simply chose when to speak. Snow remembered footsteps. Stone remembered touch. Wind remembered names. Even when people forgot them. Nothing was ever truly alone. Spirits without faces. Not all spirits were given form. Many had no name, no shape, no story attached to them. They were felt instead. A warmth near the fire. A calm settling over a room. These spirits were believed to protect rest. Not places. Dreams as gentle messages. Dreams were not commands. They were suggestions. A mountain seen from afar. A river crossed without effort. The Nords believed dreams showed the mind how to move without forcing it to go. Dreams were never chased. They were allowed to fade naturally. Ancestors in the snow. Ancestors were not thought to linger indoors. They moved with the land. In snowfall, in long shadows, in the hush between wind gusts. When snow fell softly, it was said the ancestors were resting nearby. No words were spoken then. Fate as a slow river. Fate was not a single path. It was a river. Wide and patient. Some days you crossed it, Some days you rested beside it. Both were acceptable. Nothing was wasted by waiting. The land that remembers you. It was believed that Skyrim remembered. Those who walked gently, not by name, Bionic, but by feeling. A sense of familiarity, a quiet welcome. The land did not ask for greatness, only respect. Drifting toward sleep. As thoughts slow, beliefs soften. There is nothing to understand tonight. Only rest. The spirits are calm. The land is still. Sleep may come now or later. Both are fine. Remembering without effort. Somewhere in Skyrim, a quiet home rests beneath snow. A fire crackles softly. No voices rise. No footsteps hurry. Everything is exactly where it needs to be. You do not need to picture it clearly. The feeling is enough. The same stories softer. Once, there were ancient homes. Warm hearths. Listening walls. Once there were quiet travelers. They walked slowly and rested often. Once there were places that asked nothing in return. Those places still exist. Circular calm. Snow falls. The land listens. The fire glows softly. Breathing slows. Thoughts loosen their grip. Nothing needs to be remembered perfectly. Nothing needs to be finished. Letting go of names. Names are not important now. Neither are places. Only warmth only stillness. Skyrim remains. Whether it is named or not. The land does not fade. It waits patiently. Deep drift. The night grows longer. Dreams may wander, or they may not come at all. Both are peaceful. Breathing becomes slow and steady. The fire dims further. $200:00 end. rest without ending. There is no ending to this story, only rest, only quiet, only warmth, lingering. Stay as long as you wish. The night will hold you. The fire again. The fire is still here. It has grown quieter. But not colder. There is no rush for it to fade. Warmth lingers. Long after the flame grows small. Snow without weight. Snow continues to fall. It does not hurry. Each flake settles. Exactly where it belongs. Nothing presses down. Nothing needs to move. Breathing with the land. Breathing slows. Not because it must, but because it can. land breathes too. In long, quiet rhythms. Memory without shape. There are memories here, but they have no edges. No faces. No timelines. Only a sense of familiarity. A calm recognition. Rest is allowed. Nothing is expected of you now. Not listening, not remembering. Not even sleeping. Simply being. Is enough. The world remains. Skyrim remains. With or without attention. Mountains stand. Snow falls. Fires glow softly. Behind quiet walls. The fire burns low. Snow falls softly. The land listens. Breathing slows. Everything is still. There is no final moment. No closing words. Only rest. Lingering